In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to get paid to take care of your parents when they are elderly and need your assistance. This is a common occurrence in America. Make sure you stay until the end of this video because I'm going to tell you exactly how you could potentially qualify for certain key tax credits if your parents can qualify as your dependents. Let's dive into this video. Welcome back, guys. There are many of us out there who wish that our parents will stay young and healthy forever. But unfortunately, as our parents age, their health often declines, which causes them to need various types of care. And you guys are aware of this. For example, senior citizens may need physical care to help with things like medication management, pain management, personal hygiene. They may need assistance living to care to help with daily activities. A lot of people choose to provide this care themselves rather than pay for it. And after all, paying for care can be extremely expensive. If it's not covered by an insurance company. But luckily, there are a few ways that children can actually get paid to take care of their parents in their elderly years. And yes, there are a number of crucial caveats, rules, and exceptions that I'm going to break down entirely. So please pay close attention. Keep in mind that these rules vary significantly from state to state. So you will definitely need to check with your state government to find out the exact rules for your state. With that being said, here are a couple of ways that you can get paid to provide care to your elderly parents. And option number one is through government programs. There are a number of government programs that will pay adult children to provide care to their elderly parents. For example, in many states, Medicaid will pay adult children to provide care to their elderly parents. There are several Medicaid waivers that can potentially be used to allow you to get paid for providing care to your parents. For example, the Home and Community-Based Services, HCBS, Section 1915C waiver is one waiver that many people apply for in order to receive payments for providing care for their parents. HCBS waivers often include an option called consumer direction, which allows the person receiving the care to choose where they get the care from if they are living outside of a nursing home. And many elderly people choose to get the care from their children using this option. In order to qualify for this waiver, the patient must be enrolled in Medicaid. This is crucial. The person receiving the care must also meet Medicaid's financial eligibility requirements, which vary significantly from state to state. These requirements can include limits on income and assets such as homes. Typically, to be approved to be paid to take care of your elderly family member, the care recipient must also demonstrate a medical need for assistance. Now, each state has different rules for which family members can get paid to provide care. Usually, immediate family members such as children are eligible, but if you're not a child of the care recipient, you might not qualify. Some states also require family care providers to undergo background checks for approval. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that Medicaid often requires a functional assessment to evaluate the needs of the parent who will be receiving the care before the child can be approved to be paid to provide the care. Here's the million-dollar question that you're probably wondering right now. If I make it through the approval process, how much could I expect to get paid by the government to provide care for my parents? Well, here's the answer. If you do get approved, you could expect to get paid the Medicaid approved rate for providing home care services. And this typically ranges from $10 to $20 per hour. So it'll most likely be around minimum wage or a little bit above it, depending on which state you live in. To give you an idea of how much this would be per week, let's say that you were paid $15 per hour and you worked providing care for your elderly mother for 40 hours a week. In this case, you would make $600 per week being a caregiver for your mom. Now, this can be a very significant amount of money for some people, especially considering that a lot of people completely give up their jobs to take care of their elderly parents. If you're going to give up your job to take care of your parent, I think that we all can agree that it would be better to get paid by Medicaid to provide this care as opposed to not getting paid anything. So, if you do qualify to get paid for the care you provide to your elderly family member, then great. But if you fail to qualify for the approval for Medicaid, then there's still another way that you might be able to get paid for this work. So option number two is long-term care insurance. If you're not familiar with long-term care insurance, it is a type of insurance that helps cover the cost of care for people who are unable to care for themselves. such as the elderly or people with chronic illnesses or disabilities. Long-term care insurance can help pay for a variety of services, including home health care, adult daycare, respite care, care in a nursing home, assisted living facility care, personal assistance, home delivery meals. Long-term care insurance can be extremely beneficial for elderly people who need care and for their families. It is estimated that only 3 to 4% of Americans over the age of 50 pay for long-term care insurance. However, roughly 70% of adults over age 65 will need long-term care at some point. So in other words, long-term care insurance is a highly underused type of insurance that could potentially be enormously financially beneficial. And one of the greatest benefits of long-term care insurance is that some long-term care insurance policies allow family care providers to get paid for the care services that they provide to the policy owners. So just like with Medicaid, it is possible to get paid through a long-term care insurance provider to care for your elderly family members. Some long-term care insurance policies will require that the family members who provide care be licensed caregivers in order to get paid, but others do not. So if you do not currently have this status, but want to get paid to take care of your mother or your father through a long-term care insurance policy that requires it, it is a relatively straightforward process to get it. You'll have to complete a state-authorized caregiver certification program and fulfill a couple of other requirements. But let's talk about some tax credits for providing care to your parents. In case you're not aware, there are also some helpful tax credits available for people who provide care to their parents, and these credits can potentially help you save money in taxes if you have an elderly parent who is a dependent of yours. But of course, just as with getting paid by Medicaid or long-term care insurance policies to take care for your parents, there are rules and there are conditions that have to be met in order to get the tax credit. Let's look at some of these credits and deductions that you can apply for. The credit for other dependents is a credit that is designed to provide financial relief for people who provide support to dependents who are not children. This includes elderly parents. It is a counterpart to the child tax credit. In 2024, this tax credit is worth $500. So if you qualify for this tax credit, you can get a $500 for dollar reduction of your taxes that you owe. However, keep in mind that if you qualify for this tax credit, the eligibility requirements have to be met. For example, the dependent must be a United States citizen, resident alien, or national. He or she must also actually qualify as a dependent. Further, be aware that this tax credit starts to phase out at $200K for single filers and $400K for married filing joint filers. So if you're a high earner, you might not qualify for this tax credit, but if you do qualify, it is a helpful tax credit that you might as well take. After all, looking after your elderly parents is very expensive, so it is a good idea to save some money anywhere that you can. Now let's discuss child and dependent care credits. This tax credit is available to people who pay others to care for their children or other dependents such as elderly parents while they work or look for work. So this is more for people who are paying others to care for their parents than doing it themselves. If you fall into this category, then this credit can be quite handy. You must have earned income to claim this tax credit. The child and dependent care tax credit is worth 20 to 35% of qualifying care expenses up to $3,000 for one dependent, $6,000 for two or more. The amount of credit you are eligible for depends on your adjusted gross income. For people who qualify for this credit, it can be worth several hundreds of dollars up to several thousands of dollars. Now, I'm about to discuss the bottom line for saving money when taking care of your elderly parents. But if you're liking this video, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be putting out amazing tax strategy videos for you, and we want to grow this page. Now back to this video. Okay, so what's the bottom line? The bottom line for saving money when taking care of your elderly parents is that one of the best ways to do so is to get paid either by Medicaid or by a long-term care insurance policy for the care you provide. However, not everyone is going to be able to do this, and these options aren't going to make sense for everybody. But even if you can't qualify to get paid to take care of your dependent elderly parents, you may still be able to claim some great tax credits. The credit for other dependents and the child and dependent care credits are two that you should definitely look into if you're someone who has elderly parents who qualify as dependents. Now that's all I got for today's video. Please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe if you like this one. I'll be putting out more high value tax content in the future, but thank you so much for watching. Cheers.